On this episode of Tabletop Continuum, make a stealth roll with advantage to hop on the wagon and listen in on the budding journey of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Making their way into the headquarters of the Bountyfolk, Cori gives Postal Karma a woeful introduction that begins to eat away at the integrity of the party, their relationships, and their motives and morale. As we say, welcome to the World of Morath. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Tabletop Continuum. This is Ty.
And I want to play dragons.
Carmen, and I want to play dungeons.
Austin, and I want to play both.
I'm Valkyrie, and I also want to do. I also want to play both. I was about to say I probably shouldn't say I want to do dragons.
I mean, you are the bard, and bards are known to be a little more advantageous.
We still haven't introduced
adventurous.
The last person. Oh my god!
Not this one, cuz.
I know, I was joking.
Oh, I'm Melissa, and I'm here for weird shit.
Also, you are hella close to your
Listen,
mic.
Sorry about that.
literally all of my bards are either asexual, demi-ace, or don't know what sex is.
I know, but it's like,
Listen.
and I love Demi and Ace bards, honestly.
And then
Like-
there's your only cleric.
Yeah! Then there's my only cleric.
And
My
she's
only
definitely
cleric.
not ace.
No!
Zelda!
She's very much not ace.
I used to be a cleric main, and now I'm a monk main. What happened?
You took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah. But that would explain my increase in dexterity. So, who wants to give the recap, Tyler?
I'll get to that actually in a bit. So, where last we left off. After a rude... Well, actually, after the lifting of Siobhan from a curse connected to her circlet by a follower of Degdebal, the god of chaos, by the lead of Yorgia going into the dreamscape, you all woke up to frantic news of a carriage rushing to the White Prize and a cavalry rushing behind. You all dashed to the front gate wherein you stepped out to fight a familiar face in Alex, the same man who imprisoned all of you except for Cree for your actions on the Sacred Amphitheater in Malekabanajo. After his anticlimactic leave, after scaring Angus primarily by pinning you to the ground and seeming like he was about ready to cut your wings off, Cree, in your desire to protect, you shifted, and you, for lack of better phrasing, you went a bit feral. However, when Alex left, reality set in, and your fears took over as you ran away in fear of not only your own self, but the thoughts of others from your change. Angus flew after Cree to comfort her, bringing her back. You all heard news of the White Prize calling for another move. Having one final night of rest among your allies, and for Anchor, your parents, you all woke up to begin your venture out, finally, to Bountyfolk. However, a deranged orc man by the name of Myrtle, bequeathed the name the Hermit Chief, began to talk havoc of past events of orcs being enslaved by the Rame in the mines, blaming Vogue and Lo and their family for the fault of the lives lost. Even mentioning the bloodbath interim. Whereupon you heard Posos take him down by words, though the two of them continued feuding as you, accompanied by Cori, Moonjumper, and Sundancer, made your way out. With the help of Cori to guide you, you find a barren woodland with a plaque bearing a riddle. Solving the riddle, a gigantic building seemed to rise from the ground seemingly out of nowhere with tremors about. Now, walking inside, your sights are invaded by 8 tapestries draped along balconies and a pillar at the epicenter of the first floor, segregating the building evenly into 7 areas of these 7 banners that are about the walls, with the flag of the Bountyfolk on the pillar. The first thing that you see, as there are many people, many sights around. You see types of people that some of you have never seen before. Some of who you find familiar and unfamiliar, different from some of you. Those that were raised in the Feywild will be more familiar of the small flying lights of the fairies that are about. Some of you may be a little more familiar of other humans, as well as gnomes, dwarves, Goliaths, as well as a few goblins, kobolds, and even a sort of serpentine sort of folk. Tall, with horns, long tails, with black scleras and piercing eyes. But everyone here is working together. It's oddly euphoric as you see everyone clamoring, the sounds and sights most likely overwhelming. Cori, with all of you, is standing a little bit behind you, next to you, Cree, with the wolves, as he is just jumping up and down in excitement. So, welcome to the Bountyfolk!
So, Cree's still riding on Sundancer.
Yeah.
And she doesn't hear a single word that Cori says because she's too busy. Her brain is too busy trying to focus on literally everything all at once. Her cat brain is giving her some problems right now. She's sitting on Sundancer right now and just looking around at everything that moves or sparkles. And it actually looks like she's starting to get a little dizzy.
Sundancer kind of noticing somewhat, at least feeling your body moving a little bit, kind of tries to turn her head to look up at you with her peripheral, with a little "Aw."
She hears. I don't know if she. Can I roll to see if I hear that? I think she needs to roll to see if she hears that.
Roll a perception.
That's a 17.
Yeah, you hear her. Your part of your mind is still going, "Oh, pretty lights," but then when you hear Sunny, you're like, oh no, something wrong?
Alright, so I think I've only used let's see, level 6. I've only used one speak with animals, so she's
Mhm.
going to use speak with animals again. And look down at Sunny. Are you okay? Is everything okay? It's really loud and there's a lot of things everywhere. Are you okay?
I'll be fine. I've been here before. What about you?
There's
As you
everything
also
happening
hear
all at
Moon next
once.
to you. So much stuff! Look at this stuff! Look at this stuff!
Too many things, all many things, very many things. All the things. I want to catch the things. I don't think I should catch some of the things, but I want to catch some of the things. I'm hungry.
I can
Talk about
cook
this
for you
earlier,
later.
we do not grab the things.
I can cook for you later.
That would be nice, thank you.
How are the rest of
She's
you?
trying to keep her. She's going to try and keep herself from looking around too much, but she's still looking around a whole lot.
How are the rest of you?
Yorgia is kind of just standing by, tapping her foot. She's kind of standing there I'm not entirely sure why I'm here. It's kind of her expression.
That's kind of Angus is looking very intrigued, but also kind of even standing with Yorga in a why am I here? I tagged along. Why am I here?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what?
Well, I don't know where Lord and Lady Omerig are, but I guess I can give you a tour of all the sub-guilds.
That would be nice, thank you.
Oh.
And where are we going after this?
Depends on what your initiation is gonna be.
Initiation?
Yeah, most, if not everyone that finds the Bountyfolk and solves the first riddle, are automatically required to have an initiation. Basically, they have to be in or they're dead.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yorgia
Well-
looks very distressed.
Yeah,
Angus looks
Cree
pissed.
hears you're in or you're dead, and just immediately looks at Cori, her eyes wide, just deer in the headlights kind of look.
Hey, no, it's fine. The initiations are always pretty easy. They don't
Yes,
do
but-
really bad, kill some giant 300-foot golem or something as your first thing.
I
No.
step
Yes,
up to
but-
Cori
yes,
to
but
grab
honey.
him by the shoulders.
Ah!
That
Honey.
is fine. Yep. That's fine. However, Cori, please remind me of the conversation where you asked not Anchor, not some other person in our party, Angus, me, Angus. Tell
Mhm.
me when the conversation you and I had. That's where I ended it with, I would love to join a guild, Cori. Please put me in a situation where I am then bound to join a guild or die. Please tell me when I said that, and then tell me how you didn't just trick me into doing so by forcing me in here without telling me that caveat.
And please tell me when you had that same conversation with Yorgia.
Or
Or
me,
Siobhan.
your
He
boyfriend!
never mentioned that.
Or me, your boyfriend!
Oh,
You didn't ask us if we wanted to.
We're not supposed to tell. Okay,
Well,
for the record,
that's fine.
no,
But you
let
could
me
have
explain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're
There
not.
better be a good explanation following this, Cori. Or
We're
I'll join a
not
guild, all right.
really. We're not really supposed to tell the specificities when it comes to the Bountyfolk because Lord and Lady Elmereg have ties with the Mitzker royal family.
Well, that's okay.
If the royal family were to
Oh.
get word of this, then not only would the Bountyfolk be completely destroyed, everyone's lives here would be in danger.
That's fine.
So they can't. So unfortunately, we really can't risk letting just normal people, people that come here on a whim, to tell anyone about the Bountyfolk, at least as it is now.
Cori,
We're already trying to get some sort of recognition, but in the way that we are now, we can't.
Cori,
It's too risky.
Cori. That's fine and all, but do you think you could have mentioned a part where this could cost us our lives?
Or at the very least, said, hey, would you like to join a guild? Or something along those lines. You didn't have to tell us what guild, because I would have told you no.
Even then,
And
I
you
don't
didn't have to
care.
drag us in here and then not give us an option.
And even then, I do not care. I do not care about the dangers it would pose for you not telling us that information. Because forcing us to join a guild kind of put the whole wrench in the situation of me trying to get back home.
Throughout the archipelago, it's just folk itself is what's the issue.
I mean, at this point, I think we can all agree that we're going through with the initiation.
To be part of the Sentinels of Hue is another thing for me to be affiliated with the Bountyfolk, because the Bountyfolk... Okay, a little bit of a history lesson. Everyone kind of learns this when they become part of a sub-guild. But the Bountyfolk used to be the very first mercenaries guild in the archipelago during the Bloodbath interim. The Bountyfolk never really picked a side. It just has a history of blood for money. And Lord and Lady Almerig don't want that anymore. Not just in regards to the Mitzker monarchy, but there's a lot of not so nice stuff going on in any part of the archipelago, so they've been trying to be quiet and sure have these sub-guilds, but in the end it's meant to create a revolution.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
I feel
Because
for
it
you,
doesn't.
really. I feel for you. However, I have my own revolution back home in the Feywild. You don't see me dragging people into the Feywild and trapping them there.
That's kidnapping.
You didn't even ask us for help. I guess that's what I'm so hung up on, is you...
No, how about this? I can forgive it if the answer to the following question is yes. Is there a way afterwards for us to then leave the guild?
Yes.
Perfect.
Then I am less angry, and I'm even willing to consider staying in the guild.
I'm really confused. What's going on?
I'll explain later, Cree.
Well, to put it in the short way, Cori tricked us.
Unintentionally, I have a feeling, at the very least.
Unintentionally, and also not just the rules of the Bountyfolk, but Loch pulled me aside while you all were asleep. Loch has said many times that I need to take you all to the Bountyfolk, and unfortunately, as much as I wanted to, and as much as Loch wanted to, we weren't really sure that just going all hunky-dory, oh yes, you can choose to be in a guild, you can choose to do this and that would be a good idea, because saying that you could choose from the get-go would be more of a lie.
What you're saying is, Loch is the reason that we're all stuck here, and Loch had you trick all of us. Is that what I'm to understand here?
That bitch.
Oracles are an ass.
I'm well aware that oracles suck. You definitely saw how I reacted to her when we first met her.
Auntie,
Oracles
why?
are asses, and we love them, but ugh.
Speak for yourself on
I
that last
don't.
part.
Yeah, you can nix that last part, particularly for me, and I suppose Angus too.
I apologize for my anger, Cori. Not to say that I am thrilled with your part in it, but I can forgive you for just following orders. I know we've all probably done our fair share of things we shouldn't have done under the guise of following orders, so I think we can all just let it slide at least once. Well,
Let's not
everyone
do it
except for
again.
definitely Cree. Cree has definitely never done anything while following orders that she regrets.
It also doesn't help that I have a slightly different circumstance than those that just. I have a different story on how I found the Bountyfolk than you guys. Most people are either led here either by other members or by someone who is actually trying to trick them. That's unfortunately not uncommon. But I found the Bountyfolk for under different reasons. And they're my new home. So I can't help but feel obligated to kind of spread that how I can, because at least for the Sentinels, they give me that.
Is that
And
supposed
I
to
figured
make
maybe the other
Oh.
guilds could give that for you guys too. I don't know your circumstances, but that's my thought process.
That is very sweet that you would like to share a home with us, but that doesn't mean that we are suddenly cool with the fact you tricked us. Forgiving
No,
you and being cool with it are a whole other thing.
I get it.
Right. Why not just be honest with us? We've become.
I mean, I guess you did give reasons why you can't be honest with us, but that doesn't
Well,
make
true.
it still
Sorry.
right. I have realized that I am still holding Corey's shoulder, and I let go of his shoulders, and I kind of awkwardly pat him on the head.
He kind of rolls his shoulder with a whispered "ow."
A second
Excuse
passes
me,
and an
Angus has-
anchor scoops him. A second passes and anchor scoops
Excuse
him
me,
up.
ow is bullshit, because Angus has like an 8 in strength.
You were angry. You were squeezing, so
Yeah.
it's more like an emotional ow, like I fucked up.
A second passes and anchor scoops up Corey, just hugs him. I'm sorry, I may have overreacted a bit. Still a little mad that I didn't find out that I could die from this, but I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm not.
Honestly, the whole death thing is kind of a ruse anyway, unless you really fuck up your initiation.
I'm sorry.
Like, not fuck up the initiation as in fail, but more like some people have tried to. Some people who have taken an initiation have threatened Lord and Lady O'Merrick with
Like
taking this
betrayal.
information to the royal family.
With that, Anchor gently sets him down, wraps his arm around Corey's neck so it's not like squeezing, and noogies him.
Right.
You deserve that, you little dork.
Hear one to talk.
Georgia looks like she looks like a restrained animal. She kind of has this look towards Cori like, I would be skinning you right now if it weren't for the big guy who is protecting you.
Cori does not have a happy face on right now.
Yeah, Georgia literally looks like she wants blood. She's pissed.
I'm I'm gonna walk with Yorga and lay an awkward hand on her shoulder as we walk.
Mhm.
A
Yorga-
reassuring one.
What are we doing now?
Initiation, I suppose.
Well, normally initiation is called by Lord and Lady O'Merrick. I haven't heard of their return yet, so we can stick around in the mess hall for a bit until then, or again, I could give you that tour.
Well, I would be up for a tour, even though I feel that everything I see now in this place is going to be twinged with hard feelings, but I'd still like to see everything. I have definitely never been here before.
You mean this isn't everything? But there's so much here.
Yeah, the Cree, there's 7 sub-guilds.
That's a lot of guilds. Guilds. Oi.
When did we become a fish?
I know, sorry. That's a lot of guilds.
It's not as much as you think. I've heard some nations having like 20.
I would offer to help cook in the mess hall, but I have a feeling these people don't trust me enough yet.
Oh, you wanna know something neat? Cori's not the only one who's been here before. Sunny told me that she's also been here before.
Oh,
Moon Moon kind of just immediately just flicks his head to his sister. Oh, really? Yeah. I used to be under some folks that were under the Runic Face. Unfortunately, that group of people started to try and drift away from what the Bountyfolk says is the values of the Runic Face, and that extended to how they treated me and others. Unfortunately, with them also having those wanted posters of some of your faces, that especially solidified their disalliance. So
She pets Sunny, giving her a bit of comfort.
The people that we got Sunny from weren't very nice to Sunny. She said that they were sort of under the runic something. I don't remember.
you hear Cori chime, Runic Face?
Yeah, that one. But apparently they started to not do the thing. They started to do things that the Bountyfolk didn't like. I think that's how it was going. Yeah. And then we got her.
is that why you're sticking with Sunny? Bad memories and to comfort her?
Yeah, Sunny doesn't like it here, so I'm gonna stay with her. I promised I wouldn't leave her.
Anchor smiles at Cree and says, That's very sweet of you.
I'm sorry about that, Sonny. I mean, I'm not part of the runes, but I still. Sunny kind of looks over at Cori for a moment, cocking her head for a moment before giving like
Cree
a subtle.
Cree translates if she needs to, I guess. I don't know if she needs to.
Sunny gives like a soft nod, but then like her attention goes back to you, Cree. Like, more pets, please. I would like pets right now.
She absolutely continues petting Sunny.
DM, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
What size is our Sunny and Moon? Like, are
They
they
they are
like
dire
are they
wolves.
large? Well, no, I get that part. I'm saying like, are they large? Are they
They are large.
Are they're large creatures?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on one second. Hang on. I wanted to see something. Oh, that's cute. Never mind. I wanted to see if I could do something, and I kind of can.
Oh, what were you thinking?
Oh, well, I don't necessarily even want to do it now. I interrupted everything for a thing that I was thinking I could do because I know the spell enlarge/reduce. I was wondering how small I could make them to be carried around.
I don't know if they'd like that very much, but I think
my
it's cute.
gosh.
Make them toy wolves.
Oh god, like those.
I can only bring them down to
Tiny
medium,
dire
though,
wolves.
No, it would be more like I can bring them from the size they are now to Cree sized, which is not exactly pocket sized.
Well, then
Just
you have
anchor
somebody
carrying
else
them around.
use. Yeah. It does have anchor carry the wolves around. They're anchor sized now.
These are my children now.
So, what would you like? So, where do you want to go first? And at which point you hear clamoring around you guys in multiple different languages, some in Common, some in Rame, Orc, even languages that you guys do not know, shouting, "The Elmerics are back! The Elmerics are back! They have news!"
You guys all just say that in common. You're all saying the same thing. It makes no sense for you all to shout it in different languages. You're not hiding information. It makes no sense.
I got a headache
Common
from that.
tongue, you peasants. No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine?
just Angus in the middle, just like all
Angus
this
is like
clamor
super
and people
racist out of
running,
nowhere.
just shouting, "It's called Common, you peasants!" And all of them just stare at him for a moment before immediately going back to their running and clamoring in different languages.
Looks like so. She looks like a powder keg about to explode.
Also, yes, Kree, you did in fact hear Ofako.
Oh, okay. So, she has an interesting reaction to that one.
Among all of these languages being said, you do make out Ofako.
Alright, cool. Immediate discomfort at that thought, but, she's going to try and, okay, so, she hears Ofako, within the clamoring, and she kind of shrinks in on herself. Like, not a lot, but she kind of, like, hunkers down just a little bit, and, like, she like, messes with her skirt to make absolutely sure that her tail is hidden right now.
As Sunny looks up a little bit, feeling you kind of rustling on her back, "Is everything okay?"
It's fine. It's fine. There are some people that I don't think are gonna like me if I meet them. So I just don't want to meet them. Okay? I'll be okay.
What do they look? What do they look like? Do I need to bite them?
No, it's no one specific, and I
Are you
don't know
sure?
if I could point them out.
I have very spiky teeth. I can use them.
And thank you for being really nice, but it'll be okay. Again, it's I don't think it's anyone specific. I hope it's not, but I wouldn't be able to point them out anyway. But thank you for the thought. Thank you for the thought. Yeah, it's really
Sure.
appreciated.
course.
And Cree kind of like lies down and like gives Sunny a hug. And if Moon is close enough, she will like reach out her hand and pet him as well. Because she's been giving Sunny a lot of love.
Moon immediately leans in, helps you get to his favorite spot behind his ear, at which point his leg just starts going.
I
Trees intend to stay like this for a little bit.
I want to go over to Yorga and gently put a hand on her shoulder. Are you alright?
Yorgia looks up at Anchor. There is just like rage in her eyes, and she smiles and says, "Oh, I am just peachy.
You are not peachy.
Just keep Cori over there away from me, and there won't be blood spilt."
Okay. And then Anchor just picks up Yorga.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Am I luggage? Am I luggage now?
I'm keeping you away from Cori.
I'm luggage now.
Oh, but Anchor, now Cori can't be near his boyfriend.
Oh yeah, good point.
Hang on. Is this
Good
just- is
point,
this just a
disembodied
reverse of-
voice, because
At which point, Cori kind of walks over to Angus for a moment. Well, he'll go to Angus. Kind of leans in a little bit, a lot more timid than normal, given what just happened. Are you sure that Yorgia's taking this okay?
No, I'm sure that she's not. Here's the thing. As upset as I am, Yorga is probably much more upset. Because honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I could probably ditch your guild at any point and go back to another plane of existence where none of you all would be able to follow me. Not to say that I would, but if it really came down to it, I could. Yorga, on the other hand, if she goes to another continent, you guys could probably fairly easily follow her and try to make her do stuff for the guild, which neither of us asked to really join. But, I think if you are very helpful to her, later, not today, today is a bad day to be helpful to Yorga, do not try to be helpful to Yorga today, you might be able to get back on her good side. Maybe try to help her figure out a way to get back home, for starters. That one would definitely put you in her favor.
Where does she live again? How many times has she said it?
She mentioned it, but I'm not from this plane of existence, so it didn't mean much to me when she said it, you know?
Do you remember what it was, though? I could start looking.
You know, I will ask her for details later tonight. How about that?
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As he will then walk over to Siobhan. So, not going to chop my head off?
Siobhan just kind of sighs and puts her hands on her hips and stares Cori down. No, I'm not going to chop your head off. As much as I would like to chop your head off, unfortunately, I think I have enough sense to know that that wouldn't get us anywhere. You're lucky this place is so amazing, and there's so many things for me to get distracted by. And
Plus,
hopefully,
I would never forgive you.
oh well, that's also true. Anchor would never forgive me, and Anchor is one of my few very close friends, so I wouldn't want to disappoint him. So, You get to stay alive. I think that's the best gift anyone can receive.
I love how the general consensus is I would kill you if it weren't for the fact it would not benefit me.
Except for Cree. Cree really doesn't care. She just doesn't want to die.
Right now is not the right time. I'll just save that for later, unless you actually want to hear it now.
You might as well tell us now. I'm not sure there's anything you could
can't
do.
quite take you seriously with your hands on your hips like that. You look like a butch mom.
You want to see a butch mom? I'll show you a butch mom.
Bring it, mom!
I reach behind me and grab Cori by the ear and drag him forward. No, you are done antagonizing party for day.
I meant it for humor, not try and like shit up. It's my instinct. Okay, I will go. Let me go, please.
Release his ear.
I'm just going to go over there, way over there, way over there, as he is constantly kind of. You hear his boots kind of squeak on the ground as he is slinking his way farther and farther away.
And stay
Should I
over
follow?
there.
Like as this is happening, near one of the front.
What was off for?
Someone lost their train of thought.
Uh-oh.
Overhead. What have y'all heard?
Not a lot.
God's ever flipping. Okay, you see
Yeah,
three
you've
people.
been cutting out from me a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully it won't be as bad in the recording, or else I am going to cut a bitch myself. Anyway, you hear you see three people come up from coming to the front of a balcony. Two of them with very deep, like ruby red hair, with tanned features. One of them with a drape of some sort over her eyes, and the other person with a practically like a gator from their nose down to about the end of their neck. Both of them in a mix of ornate and casual clothing, very earthy in tones. The third person stands behind the gentleman with the gator, with light pinkish, kind of desaturated hair, more fair features, as they have roughly a bit of a softer kind of expression on their face with their eyes closed, as you hear the woman begin to speak, and the gentleman next to her with the gator begin to sign something, as the woman shouts, "Attention, all of the Bountyfolk! You may have heard roughly 2 weeks ago that there had been a breakout from the capital prisons in Malekbanajo. This included our recently initiated folks from the Lorelocks and Rooted Forgers. Though this sounds like a common occurrence, this is no ordinary escape, as members of their royal guard were encaged. Do not let their appearances deter you, for the guard betraying them is enough for us to call them our allies. They enter now, thus you have the bounties you stole to keep their news as rumors or smaller within Malekbanajo before it could spread through the Mitsker monarchy into the rest of the core island before branching to all the archipelago, even places normally unreached. So, let word spread only within these walls. For their circumstances, have given them ample opportunity for seats among us. Should you see them, bring them to us, for we will give them the welcome that they deserve.
Anchor just kind of sets Yorga down and just remains as low as her. Like, yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
I think she's talking about us.
Yeah, I get
Oh,
that
sure.
feeling.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
I mean, it sounds like they want us here.
Yeah, but
That's
anytime that someone says to me that you'll get what you deserve, it's not usually a good thing said to me. So I don't like
One of
the
them comes
way.
back up on stage. By the way, that means good stuff. Bye.
No, they have walked from the balcony at this point, at which you see a whole myriad of people just staring at you.
Hi.
Ugh. Looks like our cover is blown.
Does that mean we get to leave now?
I'm just gonna say in Orcisha, no understand common.
You see an orc person kind of pop out, bald with a few with some war paint on his face, a lot more indicative of Goliath cultures, but like still very proud, very muscular figure and tall figure, much more than yourself, Anchor, as he kind of looks at you and says in common, "I call bullshit."
Dang it. I just say that in common as well.
As the some people within the building continue on their own situations, some within their areas. Others are still staring you guys down, and a few even kind of motioning with their arms and hands to people from behind the other side of the pillar, before you see those same three from the balcony coming up towards you.
Like I said, I think our cover is blown.
Should I grab
Um,
should I get my fists ready?
No, I don't think that's a good thing to do among this crowd, because if we attack one of them, then all of us will attack us.
At which point, you see the gentleman with the gator holding his hands up, as he, the woman, and the person that's accompanying them continue to come up towards you. They're about 40 feet away from you at this rate.
Yorgi is kind of
Cree
looking
is
to the rest
at
of the group.
Cori.
Cori is but he's about 50 feet away from you guys, hiding behind another smaller pillar that's holding the second floor up. He's hiding behind it with a sheepish smile, giving away good luck.
I
I was about to say, Cree looks at Sunny. Can we go over to Cori, please?
Sonny looks up to you for a
Cree
moment.
is
Sure,
gonna
we
follow
can do
her.
that. Not a lot of people. Well, too many people right now.
I just want to see where Cori's going.
Because, Cree has not been paying attention to anything else that was happening.
Was it Cree or Valkyrie?
Oh, it was Cree. Cree hasn't been paying attention. I've been paying attention. For the most part. But like, also
Sunny-
like, Kree is not one of the people who escaped from prison, or at least she hasn't escaped from prison recently. So she doesn't think this is about her.
Sunny nods and begins to like. Yeah.
You cut out. I heard begins to.
At which point. Yeah. Sorry, my computer has been bleh. But at which point, like, Sunny begins to make her way closer towards where Cori went. But then you see the gentleman with the gator kind of look at you for a moment, his hand extending out with a soft point as the person behind him shouts, "Excuse me."
Kree. Yeah, she'll turn and look.
The gentleman begins to sign something as the person behind him speaks. You're part of the party of those that broke out, yes?
She didn't escape with us.
The two of them look at you, Anchor, for a moment. But she's still with you.
Yeah, they're my friends, but I wanted to see where my other friend went.
Then you will have the same treatment as the rest, especially
I
Anchor.
immediately defensively walk up and pull Kree close to me.
She is on a dog right now.
She is on top of
I'm
Sunny.
pulling the dog with her.
Anchor is slowly putting his hand towards his weapon. If you hurt
Sorry.
her,
Is that
I
a good
swear.
thing or a bad thing?
No. At which point the gentleman is frantically signing, his eyes wide as the person behind him speaks. Nope, sorry, bad wording. I am so sorry.
Huh?
This isn't anything bad or forcing anything. We're just trying to welcome you. Because, look, what has Cori said about us exactly to you guys?
That if we don't join, might kill us.
That's rare. You're fine.
The fact that it's not
That's good because I don't want to
non-existent
die.
You'll be
But-
fine. We promise. Especially given how much that Cori has boasted about you guys to Kingdom Come.
It's more
That's
that
going to be
Cori-
especially rare.
It's more that Cori said that this was like home to him, and he wants us to see it as home as well.
A lot of people have that thought process. By the way, I'm Carmen. This is my sister Enya. And the person behind Carmen also says for himself while the while Carmen signs. And myself, I'm Lyris.
And that's the name of my friend back in the White Prize.
Lyris kind of looks at you for a moment, smiling wide. Oh, really? That's cool. Before he focuses back on Carmen and his hands.
Quick question: are these
Yes.
humans, elves, dwarves? What are we looking at here?
Enya and Carmen are both human. The Lyris who is signing is Eladrin.
I have
Like an Eldrin elf.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question. Quick
Yes.
question. Is there a difference between Eladrin and elves?
Eladrin has the faintest bit longer ears than even high elves, and Eladrin are more connected to depictions of the seasons as opposed to normal high elves. What elves drow in the sword?
Okie dokie. Neat. Thank you.
I immediately want to start asking questions of the Eldrin because it's been so long since I've gotten to see one. Basically, since I was home, but I can't because he's
This is a
working.
male one.
Male is an Eldrin. So.
Male is an Eladrin.
But I guess
Yeah,
Angus
but I
didn't
don't- I
like
don't-
him.
Oh, I didn't like Mail, so that makes difference. See, the difference was Angus fucking hated Mail. Because Mail was like, hey, flirt, and Angus was like, I'll kill you.
At which point, Enya looks at seems to look at the general direction of all of you. So, sorry for the scary.
It's fine. It's fine. You have to understand that
We were not kidding.
What?
Kidding about what?
Sorry. Apparently, my computer cut myself off again. Where did I leave off?
He said we were not kidding, and that's all we heard.
We were
Yeah.
not. We were not kidding when we said that we were going to try and give you a warm welcome and even an automatic place here if we could. But
That extra information is so crucial there.
right.
We
we
were
weren't
not
kidding.
kidding.
What? We're gonna kill you.
And also, Cora was not kidding that we have affiliations with the Mitsuka royalty. In fact, and at which point Enya begins to walk over to one of you, but she's kind of struggling to pick which one of you. She's kind of walking in between Siobhan and Yorgia. We're actually the prince and princess, but we have to hide our disabilities because they love making things so perfect. At which point she backs up, moving back to where she was next to her brother. So we definitely have our reasons of not only hosting the Bountyfolk, but also hosting you. Your breakout is a testament to not only your skills, but also the corruption that's within not just the Royal Guard, but potentially, well, not just potentially, actually, corruption within the monarchy itself.
Why were you guys in prison again?
We may have stopped people from killing people on sacred ground, and by extension, we ended up killing people on sacred ground, which we got arrested for.
At which point, in your guys' peripheral, you see Lyris signing all of this conversation to Carmen.
So,
Which I have a feeling it was not that specific reason why we were arrested. I have a feeling it was an ulterior motive because someone else was there that was often arrested and put into prison. But yeah, I knew that he would get out.
Are you talking about Cori? Because I know he told us his perspective on what happened. Even he is confused on why Alex never took him in as well.
Yes.
Oh no, I think he was referring to Mailed.
No,
Oh!
Mailed was in prison.
No, Mail was already in the prison.
Yeah, Mail was
What
there.
you just said.
Mail was in
Robin
there.
just hear what got spoken. I think Robin just misheard what got spoken.
At which point, with a mention of May, are you assuming you're wanting to keep that in character?
Sure.
Yeah.
At which point,
Sure.
with the mention of Mail, you see Enya and Carmen, both of them grimace in their own ways. You see the disdain and the gritting of Enya's teeth, and if eyes could kill, you see that from Carmen as he looks to the side before Carmen
I'm glad
shakes.
we're on the same page as to our feelings of him.
Yeah.
I'm not. You're
I was talking about-
confused. Like, why
I
do we
was-
hate Mail?
Cree has
Don't-
absolutely no opinion on Mailed. He was just a
Let's-
dude that she saw a few times.
Let's change the subject.
Please.
I made a
You-
salad with craisins.
So, So, as Enya
Hey.
claps her hands to pull attention. So, yeah, your initiation. Normally it would be a little more strenuous, and we would also require people to venture and learn about the entire archipelago. Because let's be honest, most people, especially in the Mystical Monarchy, are so isolated they don't even know what the fuck is in front of them.
The cursed in front of Cree.
They
Right in front of the
I
baby.
called
Very
Wolf a
much.
bitch earlier, so
yeah.
I'm kidding.
we were recently given news by one of our friends that the crystal caves back up over in the Monany Coalition need some help. Some of their technology has gone a bit rogue, and they need help to subdue it. Would you all maybe be up for the
Subdue?
task? Calm it down. Get it in control.
Cree just
think-
looks kind of confused right now at
And make sure it doesn't destroy
specific
everything,
words of
please.
the specific words of subduing technology is what's confusing her.
At which point, Carmen and Lyris kind of chime in with Lyris speaking as Carmen signs. The crystal golems are going haywire and attacking the civilians. They need help trying to either take down the golems and restarting them, or something else. Ideally, something else, considering the golems are their main line of defense. But if they need to take a last resort, then that's what will happen. They just need help.
I see. Are there any ideas as to why this could have happened?
They're not certain. The Kyugamonde are superstitious in their own right. They have their own explanations on why they think their technology has gone rogue. But we have our own suspicions, given our own beliefs, but we're not going to push that on them. It would be better for a Kyugamonde themselves to explain it.
All right.
Excuse me. Sorry.
But yeah, so if you're able to work with that and not only help them with figuring out their technology, but also extending a hand out to them to solidify our allyship with them, considering they are underrepresented and not really given as much help by the by the Ramel system as they should. Not only will you be able to have your choice of a sub guild if you choose, you will also gain what was it again? She looks to Carmen, which Carmen and Lyris reply 15 platinum each, along with a signet ring of your sub guild, along with the regular updates within the hub here on any collaborative quests that will also grant you a lot of money, a lot of venturing, a lot of exercise, and a lot of other shit.
whoop-de-doo.
Hmm.
And note that I said if you choose. Sure, the whole initiation spiel right now is kind of obligatory. However, the crystal caves are not that far off from here, and I would only assume that it would take a week maximum. And also, from what I've heard, though the golems have gone rogue, they're not as fierce as they could be. The 5 of you will definitely stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Angus is just kind of looking around and thinking. You two seem to be, while maybe not the ones in charge, somewhat in charge around here. Obviously.
We are the sort of the heads of the modern bounty folk, yeah.
I am going to flash them my signet ring and say I would like to speak with the two of you privately, if I may.
You see Carmen, that his eyes widen, and one of his hands immediately goes to Enya's shoulders as he quickly pulls her, starting to go to the side, Lyra's following, as he immediately uses his other hand to kind of motion to you, come now.
I am walking over with them. Should I bring anyone along, or is it just going to be a four of us kind of conversation?
It's just going to be the four of you.
Excellent. I'm
Starts.
going right along. I look at everyone.
Kree
and say,
kind
"I will
of
be
wants
right
to
back."
follow.
Do you want
back.
to do a sneaky snog?
I don't think you could sneak away from this since we're all talking.
Especially on a wolf.
I mean, you could hop off of the wolf and do like Pink Panther style, zipping through the pillars.
I promised I wouldn't leave Sunny.
Fair.
And to be honest, Kree would probably just follow anyway. They just had to tell her, no, you gotta stay. You can't go. Pushes the dog's nose back into the door. You can't go, buddy.
I'm going now.
Everybody knows the video reference, right?
What about everyone else? What are your guys' reactions to what has been said so far?
What
Well,
just
Kree's
happened?
just been confused for a little while now. And also continuously overwhelmed by everything that is happening around her, because I'm sure there are still shiny things and things moving everywhere right now.
At which point, actually, you see a light blue light, almost like a firefly, coming closer and closer towards you. And when it gets really close to you, you notice that this is more than just a light. It's about a 1.5 foot person with really, really large wings for their body, deep blue, almost indigo kind of hair, light blue skin. That as they look at you for a moment, kind of leaning in. Ooh, new person.
Kree, be careful. Remember what Angus said.
She's kind of not entirely listening. You know how cats, when they look at things, sometimes their eyes get as big as saucepans?
Oh, your eyes are dilating.
Yeah, eyes are very much dilated, but and as she's kind of she kind of needing the fur that she's holding on to Sunny. She's noticed not touch, but it's oh, pretty.
What's your name?
My least favorite thing about noise suppression is that you guys can't hear me laugh.
Oh. As the person that asks, "What's your name?"
I'm called Kree.
Nice to meet you. As the person reaches a hand out at first to want to shake your hand, then she's like, "Oh wait, yeah, I'm tiny." So she just gives you the faintest bap on your nose.
Actually, I was gonna say Kree actually holds up a finger to shake, have her have the fairy shake her finger.
The fairy, seeing this, brings both of her hands out, grabbing your finger and giving a light shake. My name's Lita. Lita Plumis.
Lita? I like that name. It's a pretty name. And you're very, very pretty and really shiny. I like it.
Thank you. You should probably see me when I'm a little bigger. At which point
You
you
can get
actually
bigger?
see. At which point she flies back a little bit to give herself more room, and at which point you also see her. The light that was around her getting bigger and bigger around her, until like it encompass her to the point to where she is now about 5'6", and
Taller than
the
Kree
the
now.
yeah the as the light around her kind of forms into her silhouette, it dissipates before you see the same deep indigo hair. Now you've also noticed that there is a deep red rose in her hair, as she has a soft, desaturated, darker blue skin, um, dark amber eyes. You see um, kind of neutral yellows and browns in her clothing, in her boots. That as um, the wings behind her dissipate, kind of shrink into her back. There we
So
are.
Kree is just like she just absolute wonderment.
Wow, that was so cool.
Thank you. I can't stay like this for too long, though.
That's still really cool, though. You're even bigger than me.
Yeah, I mean, when I do change how tall I want to be, I can go a little shorter, a little taller. It depends on my mood.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, what brings you here?
Oh, my friend Cori brought us all here to join the guild, and apparently we're all gonna be treated really nicely, which is really nice because I was worried for a second there we were gonna die.
Oh, die? I
Only a
mean,
little.
oh, you'll be fine.
That's what I've been told, which is very good because I don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
At least
No,
not
I get
anymore.
that. I'm. Oh, I will. Sorry, I misheard that for a little bit. I was going to get worried about you, kid. I was like saying, last thing I hear is like, I don't want to die, but not anymore. I was like, oh dear. No, anyway.
No, that is what I said. Um, mm, well, I mean, I don't anymore. There was a lot of things that happened that I don't like to talk about. But it's okay now, because I have a lot of friends now who take care of me and keep me safe and feed me, and it's really nice.
Hmm. Well, I see you also have a very nice friend, she says, motioning to Sunny, who is kind of on the defense right now. Do the two of you want a walk around? I saw that your friend was taken by Lord and Lady O'Merrick.
Oh, yeah, that's Angus went to go talk to them, I guess. Oh, and this is Sunny. And the other one is Moon Moon.
Aw. And she gently brings a hand up to Sunny for her to sniff. It's really nice to meet you, Sunny. Do you want me to leave you be? Grab your friends?
Oh, I don't know where Cori went. I thought he was going to give us a tour, but then he disappeared, and I'm not sure where he went.
He
Um,
probably was trying to give you space. He's not good with introductions, especially introductions to here.
Yeah, actually, no, he's
uh,
not good with introductions.
Oh, hi, big guy.
Hello.
She
The
extends a
villager.
hand out to you. I'm Lita.
Nice to meet you, Lita. Anchor extends a hand to Lita and shakes. I'm Anchor.
She fiercely shakes your hand.
Ah! Wow, you're strong.
Mm-hmm. Big part of being part of the Trickhood Fold.
Oh, nice.
So there's three of you now, including Sweet Sunny. And as Moon is coming up closer, like, what is going on? Do you think the
Oh,
others...
he's still attached to the cart, isn't he?
He is.
We should probably find somewhere to put the cart so that Moon doesn't have to walk around with it all the time.
Oh, yeah, I can show you. We have a
That'd be
built-in
great.
stable. Yeah, we have a built-in stable right over this way. Follow me.
Hooray! Thank you.
As Lita is taking you over that way. Siobhan, Georgia. How are you two taking all of this?
Georgia is now looking more purple than blue.
Why? Because pretty lady?
No. Angry
Oh.
lady. She's still fucking pissed. Like, Georgia isn't even, like, appreciating or taking in anything. She's just still... She has logically processed, I am allowed to leave if I want to, but she is still pissed that Cori would even, like, insinuate that she wouldn't be allowed to leave. Like, she's still, like, absolutely, like, pissed at him for that. Like, even if he was wrong, he was still under the impression of, oh, I'm bringing these people in and they are not going to be able to leave. And she is mad about that.
So that's fun.
Yeah. So yeah.
At which point you see someone walk up towards you, like very tall, deep gray skin, really streaky war paint on their face and on their arms, almost like tattoos, come up towards you, giving you with a short sword in his hand. There's a trading ground over on the left if you want to smack some shit.
Georgia looks about ready to like make like a snappy comment, but then she thinks about it for a moment and she like takes a breath and she's like, thank you, and she heads over to the training ground.
What, no short sword? As he walks behind you, helping you go over to the training ground.
She unsheaths her own short sword and like waves it over her head.
Oh, nice.
Just waiting for Cori to be like, okay, time to go find everybody. Looks in the training grounds. Okay, hey Yorga, are you... Stab! 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 I'll come back later.
So, Siobhan.
I also feel like I should say I didn't go with Cree and the fairy. I just said something, introduced myself, and that was that.
Fair. Siobhan, how are you taking all this?
So you just let Cree go off with the fairy stranger. I see how it is.
With the fairy lady.
Yeah.
Like she has two wolves with her. It's like I want to go with her, but I don't know. I don't want to overcrowd her.
So that means Siobhan and Anchor are still alone near the front, near the entrance of the Bountyfolk. So what are the two of you doing?
What is there to do?
Well, there's still a whole bunch to explore. You could look around by yourselves. You could follow Cree, who's being led by Blue Fairy Lady, who just shifted to be about 5'6", who is also giving Kiddo and Puppers a tour. You see Yorgia walking with a giant 7-foot Goliath man going over to a training grounds, and you see Angus over with the Omerigs and Lyris.
Siobhan kind of crosses her arms over her chest and is just like, well, don't know why we couldn't have seen the bloody city together, but there you go.
Yeah. Edgar just looks
trying
at...
to leave everybody.
Anchor looks at Siobhan's like, can we follow Cree? Just make sure she's okay.
Siobhan smiles warmly at Anchor. Oh, all right. If it would make you feel better, yes, let's go.
Thank you. Sorry, I just kind of see you as the leader of us.
Thanks. But even as the leader, I guess I couldn't keep us from splitting up in this new place. Well, let's go.
Don't feel bad, Siobhan. Yorgia has a mind of her own.
And that mind is kill, kill, kill.
And Kree is being distracted by everything.
At which point we're going to gear back over to Angus with the Omerics and Lyris.
Gee, is something about to happen? I can't imagine why.
At which point, during like all the walking, Carmen has been signing on Enya's back a bit of a message, so that she's kind of kept in the loop. When all of you stop, you guys are you're on the opposite corner of where you guys were, so quite a ways away from the entrance. I'd probably say about 350 feet. As Enya pipes in. So, an Ohika, yeah?
That is technically correct, yes.
What are you... Not to sound harsh, but it's not often that a royal from the Feywild is here in Morath, let alone in the archipelago. What happened?
Well, let's see. I was up for my coronation to join the matriarchy, and I decided to leave. I did that. I understand. Doesn't explain quite everything.
At which point, Carmen... You see Carmen raising a brow. So... Wait. You look like...
Don't think too hard. You'll hurt yourself.
No, it's... As Lyris is also translating, you're a guy.
I am currently, yes. Again, don't think too hard.
Gender fluid?
No.
At which point, Enya, like, you see her shove her elbow in Carmen's side. We don't know a lot on elven culture, but
I am a man.
well, then why
The-
say at the
the
moment?
The matriarchy is not a huge fan of the idea of any of us kind of not being what we were born to be. Let's leave it at that.
You're cutting out, Robin.
Fuckity fuck.
I mean,
That's on your
I
end. She's
I
not-
heard. Yeah, that was. I think it was all. I think that's all in your end, Tyler, because I
Yeah,
heard
I
Robin
heard.
just
I heard
fine.
what Robin said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat myself though. I basically said, the matriarchy isn't a big fan of people not being what they were born to be.
At which point, Carmen, still with a brow raised, but you want to go back?
This gets complicated. This is why I wish to speak to you in private. You're all out here looking at doing things like starting revolutions and rebellions. Am I wrong?
You're not.
Well, aside from the way people like me are treated in the Feywild, which I must say is not the worst thing in the Feywilds as far as treatment goes, but I'm not a fan of it. There's also quite a bit of, how do I put this lightly, slavery in the Feywild still.
Oh, another thing that we can rip to shreds. Are you With like Carmen is immediately signing as Lyris is interjecting. So you're wanting a multiplanal alliance or something?
I'm looking to form one. If you're willing to help me lead some kind of revolt and help claim my seat on the throne, I'd be willing to maybe pull some strings and keep an interplanar alliance.
Enya, you see her kind of bite her lower lip for a moment as she kind of cocks her head upwards. We haven't done anything to this scope before.
I'm not expecting something today, mind you. This is something I am well aware is going to take some time.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're certainly open to it, but it's going to take months minimum to start working things properly. We would need a lot of our mages to have the proper spells and work themselves up to high stakes in order to just start.
Oh, I understand completely, but my point is, I'm not sure if I'd like to become a permanent member of your guild, but I do definitely foresee a reason for us to work together. Do you not?
I definitely agree that Carmen and Larison interject, myself included.
I am. No, please go ahead.
We understand that you wouldn't want to be part of the Bountyfolk indefinitely, and you're certainly not required to. The Feywild is if you feel it, is your home first. It's just currently, given our purposes, to try and more primarily destroy the Mitzker monarchy, and by extension, recreate a more we're not. It's going to take a while to fully figure out what kind of system we would want in place, but at the very least, the system that's going on now within the archipelago in general is one that needs to be destroyed.
I do believe that is something we can agree on.
So that's, I guess, for now a deal.
That's definitely for now a deal, but I do have more I need to inform you of before we start running off here.
Of course, it would be good for us to know as much as possible first thing.
Well, for starters, and though I'd like to avoid this, you may lose contact with me for a while. I have run away from home. I am certainly not supposed to be here currently. I am probably. I have a friend back home who's I would like to retrieve. And before I am even able to retrieve him, it may come to pass that my dearly beloved aunt and the matriarchy manage to drag me back to the Feywilds. At which point I will assume my throne amongst the matriarchy and have plenty of pull there. My point is, even if I should disappear, you should know that I will still have my seat of power, and I will still be able to pull strings to help this revolution happen, and this interplanar alliance.
But if you're pulled by your aunt, you won't be able to be yourself.
There are sacrifices that must be made for the betterment of other people. And if that sacrifice must be made, I'll make it. If we find a way around it, so be it. I would prefer that, but
Am I
I'm
sacrificing having eyes for what I'm doing when I was born blind?
this is not what I'm saying. But if I have to choose between me getting to present as male and an entire race of people being enslaved back home, I believe that I could stay a woman for a little longer so long as I knew people were free. I'm willing to make that sacrifice, and perhaps I can make things better for people like me along the way. we'll see what we can do. But if I'm dragged along, I'm dragged along. I'll get married off. I'll have my coronation, and what is that human phrase? Timothy is your uncle. You know what I am attempting to say.
Yeah.
So, my point is, do we have a deal here that I can expect your help in getting some work done? And not only in return will we plan an alliance, but maybe we could even open a sect of the guild out in the Feywilds.
We can. Sorry, comments. Enya and Carmen sort of look at each other in a way before looking back to you. Lyris not speaking this time as Enya talks and Carmen signs. It's a deal.
Excellent. Well then, I believe that means I shall be taking my leave to go see the rest of my friends again now. It was lovely talking to you both. I'm glad we could reach an agreement.
Certainly, as Lyris pipes in for Carmen, just whenever you need to, keep us informed on any ideas that you have while you're still around.
Of course. I will do so to the best of my abilities. Now then, good day to you both. I believe I have some friends that I have abandoned, and I would quite like to explore this place with them.
Of course. That at which you say your goodbyes before the Almerigs and Lyris go their way. From where you're currently standing, you do see Siobhan, Cree, Anchor, and the two puppers being led by this relatively tall blue woman with indigo hair, and there is no Yorgia, and there is no Cori. What are you going to do?
Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. I am going to look around and see if I recognize any of the people that were like kind of approaching everybody earlier. Anywhere.
None of them really look familiar.
Hmm. Can I roll perception or something? Try to
I'll
find my
allow it.
friends?
I'll allow it.
I want to find my friends. That wasn't a very good roll. It was a 10.
Oh no.
I mean, there are high elves, wood elves, eldrins of every sort. There are even a few Fossogrim and sea elves that you didn't expect. But
Seeing all these elves, I am, however, going to put my signet ring back in my pocket since I don't know if I can trust any of these fuckers.
however, a lot of them seem to be like much older, and the ones that are younger wear attire that is a lot more indicative of Rainbow culture.
Nonetheless, you never know. Signet ring is going in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
um. Hmm. Oh, I know. I am going to uh call out in Sylvan. Has anyone seen a girl riding a wolf walking alongside another wolf and seen which way
No,
she went?
I thought Tyler said you
I
saw
thought-
those.
Yeah, I thought you.
Yeah, I did say that you saw them.
Wait, I saw them?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
The only
Oh.
two that are missing are Yorgia and Cori.
Yeah,
Oh.
you saw
Oh,
Kree with the wolves, followed by Anchor and Siobhan following a blue lady. That was not
Okay.
Yorga.
Sorry, I don't know how the fuck I missed that. Wow. Wow.
I was really confused for a
Meow.
second.
Never mind. I don't call anything out in Sylvan. Robin's dead. No, I am going.
Oof.
Wait, can I tell that the blue lady is a fairy?
um, you can. You're able to notice this given your experience in the Feywild. Fairies, no matter what form that they are in, always have a subtle a subtle sheen, almost like a highlight on their face. Like for her, it's near her cheeks. It's a very subtle, really light, almost sparkly kind of sheen. Very indicative of the sparkles that trail fairies in their normal forms when they fly.
And I tend to know most fairies, especially from home, as being somewhat tricksters. Yeah,
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
sprinting. I'm sprinting because I specifically told everyone not to touch the fairies, and now people are hanging out with fairies, and I'm like, it's not that fairies are bad people. I don't hate fairies, but no.
At which
No.
point,
Does Kree see Angus
all of you
sprinting towards
see Angus sprinting.
I am
So
looking
Kree starts waving.
extremely worried.
Kree waves. Hi, Angus.
And as I am approaching, everyone can hear me saying, no.
At which point, like, Lita looks at you sprinting, like, oh, new friend?
Not quite. We should stop and wait up, I think. I think Angus wants us to wait.
Yes.
Fair. At which, like, she stops. Like, she stops walking. And all of you are, like, right in front of the area that's kind of designated for the Trickhood Fold.
Did we
catch
already
up to
stop by the stable to drop off Moon's wagon?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So yeah, Moon is now wagonless.
Good boy.
I catch up to everyone and just. We're done.
Are you okay, Angus?
With the blue and the what are you up to? And I point at the fairy.
I live here?
That's fair. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make I'm not trying to make a
No,
hang on a minute.
You're okay. Hey, third
generation
generation.
on Moon.
Kree actually, for the first time since they started traveling, Kree is going to slide off of Sunny, and kind of just like go to support Angus because she's worried.
Are
I'm
you
sorry,
okay, Angus?
Fine.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again? I'm terrible with names.
Lita Plymouth.
Lita!
Lita, thank you. Lita offered to give us a tour.
Angus
Yeah.
is going to squint at Lita and try not to be like mean because he's aware that not all fairies are being naughty tricksters at all times. But it's also their favorite pastime. So I would like to roll insight, please.
Roll me inside.
God damn it, that was almost a natural 20.
Aw.
Oh.
And now it's a 4.
Oh,
Oof. Ouch.
You're with the insight. You really cannot tell if she is being a trickster or not. Right now, the being winded and the experiences that you dealt in the Feywild, it's difficult to discern.
Actually,
I- Go ahead.
Since I see that Angus is being sus, can I roll for insight?
Sure.
I mean, is it
Are
obvious
you
that
rolling insight on Angus or on?
No, on Lita.
I rolled a 15.
She's a teddy bear.
She's being earnest.
I just kind of sigh and I squint at her and I go, all right. Where are you from, might I ask?
Well, I mean, I primarily live here on the Bountyfolk now, but where I used to live was over in the Akrai region.
Where's that?
Lower areas in the archipelago. Honestly, it's been a long while since I had lived there, and can't even remember where I used to live. One of the struggles of being a fairy, you live a long while.
I
Ah,
haven't really met a lot of fairies that weren't from the
kind of
fairy
like
realm,
an elf?
Not as long living, but yeah.
Oh, I've never met a fairy before I met you.
Oh, but I remember now. I used to live on the bottom outskirts of Matheragod.
Very well.
My parents actually moved here during the bloodbath interim because there was a convergence.
The what?
The bloodbath interim. It was
It was something that we probably do not want to describe to Cree at the moment.
Or at
yeah,
least
let's
not
just
in
say it was a
detail.
really, really bad time among here and the Feywild. But it was also a point of a lot of immigration.
Was that the thing I heard about in Siobhan's dream?
Huh? As
Oh,
Lita's
sorry.
kind of looking at you confused.
It's nothing. It was something I was gonna ask my friend about earlier, but I kind of forgot. Because a lot of
Yes.
things happened, but it's okay.
Yes, Cree, that is what that was referencing, I believe.
Well, I think Cree was the only one who actually heard it, and was the only one who heard it who could speak Elvish.
Well, you guys also heard it from Myrtle right before you left the White Prize.
Is that what he was talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't understand a single word that man said.
That's because
Me too, and I don't understand his language.
It's like Valkyrie didn't understand it because it was hard to understand, and Cree didn't understand it because he was speaking Orcish. But neither of us understood what he was saying.
That's because he had like barely any teeth.
Fair enough.
Hey,
He was
Anchor
also
could
speaking
understand too.
really fast and angry.
Anchor could understand it, and he could understand Orcish.
Angus would like
But-
to
That's
turn to
only
Cree
one.
now. Oh, sorry.
I was the only player who understood that, and my character doesn't speak Orcish. So we're just fucked.
Anyway,
Cree
Angus would
knows
like
about-
to turn to Cree.
Yeah.
Angus turns to Cree, is now done being suspicious to the fairy and kind of gives her a smile and turns to Cree and gives not an angry look but a stern look and says, "Now, Cree, do you remember what I said about fairies when we walked in here?"
She kind of panics. There's a lot happening. I'm not sure if it's like, maybe.
I think you told me
please
not
do
to touch him.
Yes, please do not grab at the fairies. They really hate that.
I-
You didn't do that to
I
this nice
didn't
lady,
grab-
did you?
No.
Okay.
At most, Cree extended a finger out so that she could shake it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was tiny at the time.
Yes, they tend to be most of the time.
Yeah, it's a lot faster to move when we're tiny. At least from my experience, sort of.
I get that.
Anyway, then Lita turns her attention to you, Angus. Considering your reaction to me, I assume you kind of recently left the Feywild?
Very recently. We aren't even about to begin to discuss my age.
No, you're fine. Just curiosity killing the cat. Anyway, I was
We're
just
not
about to
even
tell everyone about the
beginning.
Trickhood Fold here.
We're not even going to begin to discuss my age. I'm sorry, that's funny. Angus, baby elf.
He is.
He is.
It's like this is a whole child right here.
The minute people start hearing how old Angus is, they'll be like, "Excuse me."
You are too young to be traveling alone. We will chaperone you now.
You don't understand. I think if Siobhan actually hears how old Angus is, she might kind of go, wait, hang on. Why is there a baby here?
he is baby.
I did not sign up for this.
This was a sadly lost child.
I think technically speaking, if you like adjust for like
Mental age that Cori is the youngest.
well, I mean like I feel like if you adjust for like how long elves live and when they typically reach adulthood, I think technically speaking, Kree is at a later stage of her life than Angus.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Angus is essentially an older teenager.
Yeah. And technically speaking, Kree's supposed to be a young adult.
Technically.
But mentally she might mentally she's probably closer to like 10 years old. And that's not her fault at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue with the the game.
Yeah.
We got distracted.
Next tour.
As you guys, as this lull in the conversation happens, a familiar blue-haired girl returns to the party, holding a short sword in her hand that is conspicuously covered in stuffing and cloth. It's
Okay.
Go ahead, finish. Does any of this is mostly just I don't know who to direct this at, but does any of the cloth or stuffing like fall off of the sword at any point?
I think it does. She kind of is leaving a little bit of like a trail every like 50 feet. A bit of it falls off of her sword.
So
as Lita's seeing this and she has a wide grin. Oh, someone showed you the training grounds.
Yeah.
So I just want to say,
Mhm.
if a large piece of like fluff or stuffing kind of like falls off and like floats down, Kree watches it, and just as it's about to hit the ground, she pounces on it and just grabs it in both of her hands.
You're
So she's kind of
nods.
like
Don't put it in your mouth.
crouched. She's like crouched on the ground, like her hands like held out, and her eyes wide as saucepans again.
Do
Her
not put it
eyes
in your mouth.
dilated, and she. What is Angus saying?
Do not put it in your mouth. Do not put it in your mouth. Do not put it in your mouth.
Kree like kind of like she blinks, realizes what she just did, and like stands up, like her hands just like flying straight to her sides. One of them is holding the little piece of fluff though. It's like balled up in her fists.
Georgia turns to the indigo-haired lady, and she's like, "Yes, the big gray guy, if you know him."
Oh, George. Yeah.
George. That is not the name for a large.
That's a nickname that I have for him.
Hmm.
Don't tell him that I told you that.
Yorgia leans to Angus and is like, "Who's the Oh, Angus."
Yeah, Angus.
Yorgia leans
Oh.
to Siobhan and is like, "So, who's the lady? And why does she have such cool hair?"
Apparently she is Kree's guide through the city.
We became friends. Her name is Lita, and she's a fairy.
Fairy.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yorgia seems interested, but also mildly disappointed. Secretly, she was hoping that that Lita was another Kalishtar, based on the.
No, her ears. Yeah, her
Aha.
ears are pointed, and she has like desaturated, darkish kind of blue skin.
Mm.
So she's very definitely not a Kalishtar.
Damn. I want to say that Yorgia, in seeing so many different people from so many different walks of life, is slightly hoping to see another Kalishtar and is kind of looking around for anyone who looks Kalishtar-y.
Roll me perception.
I tested all my dice today to see which ones would be the good dice, and let's hope I didn't choose wrong. Oh, I didn't choose wrong. Nice. That's a dirty 20.
You see a lot of human folk. One of the biggest things that you remember to how difficult it is to find a fellow Kalishtar is that you guys still look predominantly human. And your hair color especially is rare among the Kalishtar. Most have deeper, darker kind of blues, purples, and deep reds in their repertoire. You do see a few darker hues of hair like that. However, another indication of Kalishtar is bright, pale skin and really dark, almost black irises. Among the people that you do see, you don't see those other features.
Yorgia is kind of sad. Why does everyone else get to see people who are like them?
I mean, technically speaking, Cree didn't see anyone like her. She did hear a language that she sorta knows, which would imply that there are certain people around. But she definitely does not want to see them, and she does not want them to see her.
Also, Angus is playing a basic bitch race, so I mean.
This is what I get for being special.
Well, there's also lore on why you're not seeing people like you, and you and I have talked about this.
I know, but woman can try.
But yeah, all of you, being led by Lita, are now standing in front of the area designated for the Trickhood Fold. You see the banner above the area holding the what Lita calls the amalgamate. Looks somewhat similar to the Lorelocks symbol that you see across the way, but has many more branches and like just many more extending parts as you see people inside a quest board. You see a desk along with several tables, and you see when you peek in, you see more halls extending to the left and right. That one of them to the left extends out to some sort of light that you assume is something outside.
So did Lita already say like, hey, this is the Trickfold Guild?
Yeah, she said that a few times.
Okay. I just wanted to make
Do you guys want to walk in first, or do you want to see where everything is first before we start going inside?
I kind of want to see where everything is. That'll make walking around easier later.
Everyone else?
She's your friend. We'll follow.
Well, I mean, you're all new here, and you're all a team, so
Guess you could call it that.
I sigh and kind of just give a sympathetic pat on the shoulder to Yorga.
Siobhan, what do you say?
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Siobhan died.
Siobhan.
No.
Oh no,
Yorgi
Siobhan's
killed him.
collapsed again.
Oh, sorry. I'm here. I'm just real tired.
You're okay.
Now it's my week
oof.
to be tired.
Oh, jeez. How could you be tired? Gosh, what? Are you going to fall asleep at your computer? What kind of crazy person would do that?
I know, right? That I was trying so hard not to do that.
Siobhan, what do you think we should do? Should we explore this first or see what's around first?
Well, I think we should explore. And maybe start exploring by exploring what's around us. It's a place to start.
All right.
So, next spot it is.
Yeah,
Just
let's
wanting
go.
to understand. Okay.
Mhm.
At which point Lita kind of leads you all over to the next guild that's closest to you guys. So, here are the Rooted Forgers, as she points to the banner of the cross dagger coin. So, unlike the Trickhood Fold, which is more for rangers, different types, special kinds of fighters, hunters, and what has become kind of the modern hitman kind of guild, the Rooted Forgers are more for crafting. So we have a lot of artificers and tinkerers on our team. You've probably met a few, right?
Moggy.
Sure, we must have met some along the line in our travels.
Yorgia,
Any Smiths?
Yorgia mutters Kagi under her breath.
Oh,
Kagi, the Yankee Marenkos. Yeah, they're definitely
Oh.
part of the Rooted Forgers.
Oh, yeah. He's a good guy. He fights good, too.
He's a part of the Bountyfolk?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Bounty
I didn't
Folks
know that.
reach is long.
He put up a good fight in the wrestling match. Well, boxing match.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Eh.
But yeah, both Kagi and his father Kyo are part of the Rooted Forgers. If I remember right, his other father and his mother are in other guilds. But before we get into that a whole bunch, we ready to go for the next one super quick?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I want to say that while they're walking around, Cree kind of is looking around, partially for Cori.
Because he disappeared, and Cree wants to know where he went.
if you want to look for Cori, roll me perception.
Okie dokie, I can do that. Rolling dice. Not a very good roll.
Sorry, I
14.
used my magic and I took all your guys' luck.
Oh,
I forgive you. It was worth it.
I got a 14.
You see him a bit of a ways away. He's talking with a few familiar figures. You see a short woman with dark brown hair, tan skin, and black and red clothes with a blunderbuss at her side and a notable black mask over her eyes. And you also see a gentleman, uh, quite a bit taller, with a crow on his shoulder, with a top hat and a much more weirdly formal wear.
I don't think these people are familiar to Cree, because
Tori
yeah.
might be familiar to Cree.
Yeah,
but
Tori would be
just
familiar.
barely.
Tori would
Yeah.
be
Just
barely
barely.
familiar, but the guy with the top hat is not familiar at all.
Yeah, she has no idea who the heck that is.
But he sticks out like a sore thumb.
He's definitely there.
He's definitely there. But yeah, Cori is
if-
talking with those two.
Kree's gonna like wave and shout, "Hi,
Cori kind of leans over to your voice, seeing you for a moment, gives a lot softer of a smile than you had anticipated, gives a bit of a wave before turning his attention back to Tori and the top hat gentleman.
Who are those two that Corey's talking to?
Well, like I said, you recognize Tori over there. You don't recognize the gentleman with the top hat.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking as the two of them just to seem like just in case Tori doesn't want to be associated with us, because Anchor still has some problems with stuff.
Wait, so you're
They're
asking
still
that to
technically
Cori?
one of. No,
Right,
I think
Cori's a
are
ways
you asking
away.
that to Kree?
No, I'm asking that to our blue fairy friend.
Oh, those two? Those are Tori and shit. What was his craft name? Philip. And that's his bird over there, Caradwin. They're new. Well, Phil is new, but they're members of the Lorelocks. Cori often collaborates with the Lorelocks a lot.
I see.
Why? Do you know those two?
I know. Oh, Tori. She's one that we escaped prison with.
Oh, right.
But I don't know. Philip is what you said?
Yep. Yeah, he's new. He came from one of the higher parts of the Monony Coalition.
I see.
He's pretty secretive, though. I mean, like I said, he has a craft name, for goodness sake.
His craft name is Philip?
Well, actually, not quite. That's kind of a nickname, though. I think that might be his actual name. No, most people just call him Harrison of the Fjords.
Oh, I see.
A lot of people,
Harrison
myself
Ford.
included, like to mess with him and call him Harry.
I mean, it does seem fun. I'm not going to lie.
We're gonna start calling him Han Solo.
He likes to take on adventures by himself, so he goes solo pretty often.
I
Hair
mean,
Solo.
that's not as rare as you think. He is pretty secretive, and he does have his bird to accompany him. So, yeah.
Does his bird kind of make this weird gargling sound?
No, Carrie still squawks.
Oh, okay. Well, now I don't like him as a character. Sorry, I gotta go.
No, I made this character.
as you all have been walking still. And now we stand at the Sentinels of Hue. As you all
Oh, this is the
see,
one that Cori is in.
as you all see on the banner above, what Lita says to you guys is called the Stringed Home. It looks like the sort of loot crossed with like a few bows in a weird way, but also a tower. It's interesting. And yes, Siobhan, this is the same symbol that you saw branded on a certain person's back.
Right. Well, this looks nice. Moving on.
Wait, what guild is this?
The Sentinels
The
of Hue.
Sentinels of
Your
the
Yorgia
Bard
is
Guild.
kind of Yorgia is looking like she's kind of like teetering, looking interested in this particular guild.
At which
It's
point,
the guild that Maelt was booted from.
at which point, Lita
Mhm.
kind of looks at you, Yorgia. I never thought of you being a bard.
Oh,
Do you have like
I'm
a
not.
flute?
No. I'm not a bard. I'm a monk. But I had knew someone from here who was in the Sentinels.
Oh, yeah, Cori. A lot of you know Cori, so I should have figured that much.
Yeah, Cori.
And the other one. Ugh, the other one.
Other one?
Sorry, Yorga. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't even remember his name at this point.
Yorgia kind of grumbles.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Are you talking about Maelt?
Who?
No, Kree, we're talking about somebody entirely different. Maelt wasn't even related in the slightest.
Okay.
No, we definitely spend time with Maelt. Yorgia
I-
grumbles.
No, that's not what I... Never mind. Goodness gracious. Decorum for...
So much for secrecy.
What's the point in lying?
I mean,
I don't know.
again,
Wait,
who
huh?
is Mailed? I haven't heard of their name since I've been with the Bountyfolk.
Best
Mael
not.
Bonajo.
Was he?
Yorgia's cackling. That was now canon. You're just cackling.
Wait, was he Mitzker?
I'm so confused. What's happening?
No, I said Mael Bonajo, and now I'm
Folks,
confused.
apparently.
Maelt Bonajo.
Anyway, moving on. We'll talk about that later as she takes you over to. And here is the Lorelocks. As you see, the symbol doesn't really have a special name for it, but it's like a set of 2 lock picks and a keyhole in the center. So, yeah, so you guys know about the Sentinels. You didn't need an introduction on that. You said you know Tori, so I assume you don't need an introduction on the Lorelocks.
Kind of
No,
do.
we
We
didn't
just
really. Yeah,
we didn't
we don't. Go ahead, Anchor.
we didn't know where Tori came from. We just knew it was something vaguely like this.
Well, the Lorelocks are predominantly for those that go for a life of wanting to take materials from one people and breeding it to another. The original founder of the Lorelocks under the Bountyfolk was actually inspired by a local legend in the Cry areas about a special rogue who had stolen from corrupt monasteries to give to the poor during a time of famine. That was just a little bit after the interim, I think. But yeah, so next one coming up this way as she continues to walk is the Sacred Groundholders. As you see the banner. So that is the weapon tree. It's predominantly for people that call to a line of protecting, whether it's on the battlefield or front lines or even at the front gates of some places. Most, if they're not the monarchy, most like small teams of cavalries will be under this banner. Sometimes even individuals such as I think I think someone from the White Prize is under this as well, or maybe I'm thinking of a different reservation. Yeah, I must be thinking of a different reservation.
This tour guide doesn't seem very reliable. Yorkim mutters to who's nearby.
I mean, I've been walking with you the entire time, so
Angus.
You know.
Yeah, Angus.
You know, it's fine. Just forget that I literally said I was walking with you. It's fine.
I love you, Angus.
I think at some point, Kree climbed back onto Sunny, only because she can see more things on top of Sunny because she is very small.
I
So,
I say to Yorga, I said, well, fairies do tend to be quite tricky back home. Although I think this seems fine.
Well, I don't mean that she's lying. I think that she's just stupid.
I think that's a bit much.
Yorgia shrugs. She's kind of like,
Wow.
And finally, coming up this way, we have the Runic Face. This is actually the most recent guild that has been founded under the Bountyfolk. Some of the fortune farers, because that came a little bit before, felt like there needed to be a new subsection more dedicated to mages and magic users that call to, I think their words were like script decipherment, focusing on like older forms of magic. So they created the Runic Face. And I believe actually, I believe actually Kagi's mom, most people call her Aura because Auriga seems a little too common of a name in the Monody parts. So Aura is a prominent member here.
I figured she'd be Momgi.
I mean, she is trying to work with the Runic Face to become headmistress under the book, but that's going to take a while.
why might that be?
Just with it's a bit of a new guild, and like they have a name, they have a face, they have members, and currently with how things are with the Bountyfolk, they're so new that technically right now, Carmen, I believe, is categorized as the headmaster until the Runic Face members themselves can come to an agreement on who they wish to represent them. They normally find someone to represent them for every 2 years.
Democracy?
You could put it that way. But yeah, that's all 7. Any questions?
So, I guess we need to get started on that initiation thing?
Oh, what did the Elmerics tell you?
I wasn't paying attention.
We're going to be investigating some rogue golems, if I remember correctly.
Rogue golems. Oh, at the Crystal Caves.
Yes,
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, so that'll be about, I think, 3 days of trekking one way back into the Monody Coalition. It's going to be right near the mountains again, because we respect a lot of people try to respectively call the Crystal Caves, but in reality, it's part of a mine shaft that has been reclaimed by some of the Kugamonde in the area, which good on them, honestly. But yeah, there is that history. But they've been trying to reestablish that part of the mines into their home, and they're very advanced in their technology, especially with using crystals in the way that they have been. But yeah, from what I've heard from a few of my friends who had to run away from the Crystal Caves because of how bad the golems were getting, it's getting bad. And it's even starting to affect, I think, the potential of an allyship between the cave and other reservations. So we're trying to be the mitigator and liaison and helping to patch things up.
Okay. Yorgil looks like she wasn't listening.
He was listening.
So, in short of it, this is something that's very big, and we better not mess it up for the betterment of the future.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to die, but
But the
with
consequences.
what the Elmerics have been wanting to do for the Bountyfolk, it's kind of a big deal.
And they're going to put that responsibility on a bunch of total strangers who they just think are cool because we broke out of jail.
Not just any
It's-
jail, a jail that was full of corrupted guards.
All jails are full of corrupted guards.
He has a point there.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I think it's more than that, but that's probably just my own optimism.
It is your own optimism.
Well, no, Yorga, give her
Frick,
some credit. I'm
Yorga.
sure there was some oracle somewhere that prophesized it.
Oracles.
Why, Auntie, why?
It says extremely grumpily.
Hey, hey, Lita, I have a question.
So yeah,
Oh,
Did I come through? Did you guys hear me?
I
heard
heard you.
you.
I heard
Oh,
Hangus, but that's it.
I heard I'll
Lita
just repeat
said,
it.
"Yeah, what's up?"
Oh, I didn't hear that at all.
Ah,
Yeah, you cut out.
You said, "Oh," and then said nothing, and we were all kind of like,
You need just
Uh,
increase your sensitivity, Tyler. That may help.
okay.
I mean, like, maybe you could, like, turn off noise suppression if you have it on. Maybe that'll help it.
I don't have noise suppression on.
Oof. Well, yeah, I guess the
Maybe have on
sensitivity
push to
then.
talk.
Alright, so,
But yeah,
I
Lita
forgot my question.
turns to you
No,
like,
okay, yeah. I got it. I remembered my question. Go ahead.
yeah, Lita looks at you. Yeah, what's up?
I don't, I don't think we're all going to leave right now. Are we?
And
No, I don't
she
think
kind of looks
so.
at everybody.
I mean, you
Okay.
don't have
Well,
to.
if that's the case, where are we all going to sleep tonight then?
Well, all of these sub-guilds have places to sleep on the inner parts of their sectors. I'm sure that any of them would be open to house you all. Plus, we normally keep the center for our meals, which I believe dinner should be starting soon.
Well, there is a
Dinner.
Anger
Odd.
perks up, like he visibly wants to say something, but he does not say anything.
Sorry, you were going to say something, Blondie?
Ear twitches angrily. Don't
Angus.
don't call me Blondie. Don't call me Blondie. Do not.
Angus, that's your name? Okay, I will keep that in mind.
But yes, I have to. Before I can turn in for the evening, I have to have a very long conversation with a certain bard, and not an angry one this time. I say, looking at Anchor to reassure him.
Okay. I can understand if you're angry, just don't kill him.
What did Cori do?
I won't kill him, and he didn't do anything. I just want to have a conversation with him.
What did Cori do this time?
I just said he didn't do anything.
He
I
kind
just
of
said.
he kind of told us that we were going to join. Well, we were going to the guild, and he kind of had us join without our say. I mean, I'm still going to join.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
and
a lack of consent.
it's the lack of consent that's the problem.
that
Be
wasn't
here.
nice of him. Why would he do that?
Is
He's a
it's-
dick.
No,
I mean-
no. He's not a dick. He's my
I mean-
boyfriend.
I mean, every man has his moments of being a dick.
You sure know how to pick 'em, Anchor.
Angus is just kind of being like, wow, this is not the conversation I was trying to start.
Listen, he
Did
Cree
you
has
just completely miss a
Cree
Yorgia's
looks at
fighting
Angus.
words?
Cree looks at Angus. Can I come along for your conversation with Cori?
I suppose you can.
Also, what were your fighting words again, Yorkia?
You sure know how to pick 'em, Anchor.
Careful. I said that you had pretty hair.
That means nothing to me. I know I have
I'll
pretty hair.
compliment you again.
Whoa, so
Could come off
scary.
I'm picking you too.
Are you dating?
I mean,
Yorga?
No, of course not.
everyone knows I have pretty hair, Anchor. It's not news.
I am absolutely confused. What is going on here?
Sounds
Do you
like all
want to
of
go
you are getting
find
along just
Cori,
fine.
Angus?
I'm sorry, what was that, Cree?
Oh, I was just saying, did you want to go and find Cori? You could ride on Moonjumper. It'll be fun.
At which
Yes.
point, you hear the thumping of Moon's tail on the ground.
I haven't ridden an animal since Talus back home, so sure, why not?
Roll me animal handling as you climb up on Moonjumper.
Need
I
help
am
getting
not
up?
a wolf rider. I am a hippogriff rider.
Roll me
can
animal
Cree-
holding.
May I assist? May I assist Angus?
I want to assist as well.
Oh, but I wanted to
roll
say
with
a thing
advantage?
because Angus rolled a 4.
You know, well,
It's okay,
mean,
with
I
advantage
was-
I rolled another 4.
As you climb up on Moonjumper, who has laid himself down on the ground like a pancake so that you have more ability to hop on. And as soon as you have gotten on, but you're not secure, Moonjumper just hops up and starts sprinting. And unfortunately, you were not given enough time to prepare as you are propelled off of his back as he continues to run in his zoomies.
Can I catch him?
You can, I'll allow it.
Okay, good. Are you alright?
At which
I
point Moon is rushing back to you, just big
As-
smile on his face as his tail is wagging like a helicopter.
Careful,
Um,
Moon Jumper.
maybe I'll ride Moon Moon and you can ride Sunny. Are you
roll
okay,
another animal
Angus?
handling check. I'm good. I'm alright. You can put
Sunny might be a bit more dignified.
like you can down with the boy. Put the boy the down. By
Just a
boy,
little longer.
boy. Um. Down, 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 down. That's like pushing against Anchor's face now with both of his hands, blushing bright red. Down, 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 down.
Okay. Okay. I put the boy down.
He clears his throat and just brushes his jacket and pretending that he didn't, just like isn't still bright red in the face, and tries to climb on top of Sunny.
Roll me animal
helping.
handling
Oh no.
Cree would like to help again.
with advantage.
Well, thank God for the advantage, because the first one was a 5 and this one's an 11. I am not a wolf rider.
Anchor is ready to catch.
Sundancer, like she crouches down for you to be able to hop on. She she after what she saw with what happened with you and her brother, she hastily, like on instinct, hastily comes up to stand, but then realizes, oh wait, you have a loose grip on me. So she like stays still for a bit so that you can adjust. And she's just going to stay there. She's not going to be like her brother and have the zoomies. Not yet, at least.
I look over at Kree and go, shall we, I suppose, go hunting for a bard?
Yeah.
And Kree's gonna hop on top of Moon Jumper.
Roll me animal handling.
Okay.
As Moon is still hyper.
I look back at everyone and say, we'll meet back up here in an hour or two.
Sounds good.
21.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're able to hop on, and like Moon immediately starts like jumping around in a bit of a circle, and you're able to hold on just fine. He's like a
Moon,
flippin'
calm
bull with how
down.
much that he's jumping.
Oh.
You're making it kind of hard to hold on, Moon Moon.
He stops, like turning his head to kind of look up at you with a wide grin on his face as his tongue is dangling out.
She gives him a pet for stopping.
He's a good boy. Alright, let's go see if we can find Cori. Don't go too fast, okay, Moon Moon?
And the puppers both begin to kind of walk a bit. Angus, Cree, roll me investigation. What are the rest of you doing?
I am going to go up to. Was it Liddy?
Lita.
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 I'm going to go up to Lita and say, although I understand if everyone won't trust me with food, is it possible that you guys would be looking for cooks?
I mean, it's normally the I'm trying to remember who all is the ones that like to do tinkering again. Goodness gracious. I did not get enough sleep last night. I am sorry. The Rooted Forgers, they're the ones that normally do the cooking because they're tinkerers and crafty, and food is kind of a craft like that. So I would probably recommend trying to talk to them.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, they shouldn't be like that far away from here. Actually, we're still right in front of them. I need sleep.
You've been in your larger form for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. At which point you see her body, as if on cue by time itself, like the light that she had before kind of envelops her body, starting from like her heart and taking her entire silhouette before it shrinks into her normal 1.5 feet. That as she looks at you for a moment, okay, I should probably go sleep now.
Need someone to carry you?
No, I'll be fine. I just need to fly slow.
Okay.
I appreciate it though. And yeah, hope you enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
She flies off. Also, Angus, Cori, what is your roll for investigation?
Soft
I got a
20.
22.
What'd you get? Angus?
Soft 20.
Soft 20. Yeah, you see him. He's still talking with Tori and the top hat guy.
I pull up directly behind him on Sundancer, and I motion to Sundancer, to the back of Sundancer, and say, "We're gonna go have a chat now."
Cori.
Hi.
See,
Oh,
Cree kind of like waves to all three of them. Hi.
Hi. Did you really have to scare me? I mean,
Oh.
that's pretty decent payback for the scare that I gave you guys, but
Angus smiles widely and warmly and goes, "Oh, Cori, you don't understand. This isn't me attempting to scare you. So now I want you to imagine what it will be like when I try to."
at which point, like,
On the
Tori deadpan looks at you and the pupper, like the both of you and the puppers. Do you need a room
For the night?
to talk in private?
Oh, yes, that as well. Yes.
She just uses her thumb and like points behind her over towards the Lorelocks. Every sub guild has different spots to sleep. Just talk to the person at the front desk of each spot and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Cori like kind of looks at you all before looking at Tori and Harrison. You two don't mind if I go?
Go for it, and good luck.
And Tori nods. At which point Cori looks over to the rest of you. Okay, I am going to go now, as he like tentatively begins to walk in between the puppers.
Where are you going?
I am walking to where I am now here. I am waiting for you guys to lead. Because clearly y'all want to whip my ass.
Get
No.
on the back of Sundancer and come with me.
Yes, sir.
I'm rather
was
like
nice to
you
see
saying yes sir
you.
to me.
I didn't think that you were into that, as he hops on without any struggle onto Sundancer.
Yeah, just go ahead and say that right in front of Cree. I'm sure she won't ask questions later.
Hey,
Sexual
Hey.
humor. That's his way of coping.
hey, guess what?
Hmm?
No, this is directed to Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 minutes past midnight. My time.
Yeah, okay. So we will save this wonderful little conversation for later, as unfortunately, because of time and letting people sleep and letting people rest, we need to have our own rest, so we're going to end tonight's session there.
Ooh.
Sorry, guys. I have a doctor's appointment to go to in the morning too. So.
Oh,
Oof.
you're fine. Life
Yeah.
comes first.
Sleepy sleep.
Let's use the closing
let's-
first.
Let's
Yeah, yeah.
outro this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we outro. I forgot
We
we
have to
do that.
outro. So yeah, this has been another episode of Tabletop Continuum. This has been Ty, Robin, Austin, Valkyrie, and Melissa, as we all say, bye-bye!
Enjoy your long rest!
Bye.
Indeed, enjoy your long rest.